Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King. And today I'm going to be giving you part 5 of What If Naruto Was a Genius Prodigy with a Lost Bloodline. Remember to get this one to 100 like as usual, share this to all of your friends in your social media platform, and also guys, go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto Was created by the God Trio for an Anime King 3. Yes guys, and over Anime King 2 I post a brand new episode of What If Naruto Return different with a yin yang bloodline, so go ahead and check out those. If you're new, yes, you heard that correctly, I did have 3 channels, Anime King and Making 2 and Making 3, which I post What If on every single day for you guys to enjoy. Yes guys, you heard that correctly, every single day. So go ahead and click that red subscribe button, links will be down in the description for the other channels, so go ahead and check them out guys. And also remember to turn on the bell notification and see exactly when I post, because I post a lot every single day. So yeah, without further ado, what do you say we jump right into this new episode? Start the intro. So the last time we left off, Sandy and his men all got slaughtered as Koyuki broke down in tears as she watched as they fought for her and they died doing so. So with that, the group decided to take the fight to them, as Rin told them that this was going to be dangerous, and if they fail, well, this backlash was going to be huge, incredibly huge. But Naruto, Itachi and Yujiro did not care. They were determined, as Rin was just looking for that determination. So with that, they move out along with the director crew, making their way as Naderi and his other guys came back. They separated as Koyuki told Naruto to help her. She needs help, as Naruto promised that he would not fail as he turned his sights towards Dodo's castle. So with that, Rin faced off against Naderi. Naderi thought that he was strong and powerful, but he soon come to realize that she was on a completely different level. Her manipulation over fire was incredible, as she was able to kill him without a scratch. Itachi faced off against Fubuki. The Sharingan strained his eyes a bit, but he was able to use them quite efficiently and take Fubuki out like she was nothing. It was then that Yujiro faced off against the last member of their team, Mazari. He was strong, powerful, and his hits hurt a lot, but in the end she was able to bring him down, with thinking 10 steps ahead of him because he wasn't that smart. Naruto made his way to the castle as he made so inside. The moment that Dodo saw his face, he knew that he looked familiar. As Dodo pulled out a blade, it belonged to the first Namikaze that possessed a swift release bloodline, the man that went toe to toe with the first Hokage and Madara. As Naruto knew that blade, as with a single swipe he was able to slice the entire castle. Lucky thing that Naruto moved. Naruto fought with everything he got, but he was losing as Dodo armor mixed with the blade started to overpower him. That is when Naruto tapped into his bloodline for the first time as a real. Hold came over on him as he used the power of his swift release. Dodo was caught completely off guard. Not only did it grant him more speed, but his strength was ridiculous, as Naruto slammed an attack into Dodo, shooting him away, killing the man on contact. Naruto was about to fall, but he was caught. As he passed out, he woke up in the hospital, as he spoke to Rin and the others. So with that, they returned back to Konoha. Returning back, hearing what happened, Minato and Kushina were on the warpath, as they hunt down their sons that ran for their life. They run with everything that they got. Eventually they caught them though. Their injuries did not allow their mothers to hate them, but they warned them for taking such a risk again, with an ominous tone, scaring the 2 boys. As Minato was proud of Naruto, not to mention the blade that he brought back. Kushina tried to hold it, but the moment she made contact, she had to give Naruto back immediately. The blade was rather fussy about who wields it, as it was humming rather ominously in her palm. So with that, some time passed as Naruto's name was added to the bingo book. Kushina didn't like this one bit. He was too young. but his name was already in bingo book that just showed the progress that he was growing with. Minato, despite knowing the threat, he was proud, as his son was rising and rising through the ranks, becoming a powerful shinobi. 3 years passed as all of them has grown. Their age now in the 12 years old range. As Rin thought that it was ready, time for them to take part in Chunin exams that will be happening at Kumo. Kushina was against this the moment she heard about it, as she didn't want her boy going there. But Minato tried to calm her down and told her it was a long time ago, and A would not start anything stupid. Even he knew that war was just a waste of time that in Shinobi's life that didn't need to be end. So A would not try anything stupid, as he was able to calm her down so that the kids would be able to go to Kumo to take part in the upcoming Chunin exams. He had no doubt that they were ready. After 3 years of intense training, they were prepared. The group was a unique team that worked great together. He knew that they were prepared for this. So yeah guys, it's basically that's what left off. You guys can switch across and please check out for yourself. And also guys, remember to go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto was created by the God Tree. And also guys, what if Naruto returned different with a yin yang bloodline over an anime king too. So go ahead and check those out, and yeah, without further ado, what do you say we jump right into the new episode? Let's get right into it guys! So, you've been entered into the Chunin exams, huh? That's quite a feat for one so young. Are you excited? Asked Minato, as the both of them sat on top of Tobirama Senjo's head on the monument. The sun was setting in the distance, as Naruto gave him an excited grin, one that reminded him of himself. I'm a little bit nervous though, he said. Oh, said Minato. It's in Kumo, and well, Mom told me that. Son, stop, said Minato. Huh? Said Naruto confused. Don't focus on the events in the past. You can't change them. But focus on the future. The events that you do right now are yours to mold it. You can choose to hold a grudge or you can move forward, said Minato. Move forward, Naruto repeated. That's right, said Minato. Well, I guess what I'm looking forward to is to test myself against strong opponents in the other villages, said Naruto, with a hint of excitement coursing through him. And so it should be. But remember, not to get over your head, said Minato, as Naruto pouted. If you get too overconfident and complacent about your skills, you're likely to get beaten, Minato said, as Naruto nodded at his father's words. I won't, but I'm excited to fight other ninjas though. I'm glad. You have nothing to be nervous over. You'll come watch me, right Dad, said Naruto. Just try and stop me. We will all be there cheering you on. As Naruto smiled brightly, Minato then turned serious as he placed a hand on his son's shoulder. Since they are going to be shinobis, you have to be mindful that you take after me in appearance. There's a chance they recognize your name and face, and the fact that you're in the bingo book doesn't help either. You must be vigilant. You're a likely target, especially ninjas on the hidden stone. I realize I'm taking a risk in sending you, Naruto, but you'll be fine if you believe in yourself and trust in your teammates attaching you to you. I understand, father, but I doubt every shinobi recognize me. Isn't the purpose of these exams to strengthen the bonds between each ninja villages? Minato smiled at him. I agree, but sometimes it takes something else to bring out the good in others. Our past with Kumo is shaky at best. As Naruto nodded, Minato then looked towards the village. You must also be mindful in using your bloodline. Exercise caution and responsibility, he said, despite Naruto already knowing that. I know, father. I won't use it unless I have no other choice. I have something for you. Minato pulled out a special 3-pronged kunai. You should get Yujiro and Itachi to put some blood in the seal. If one of you channel chakra into it, you will converge in the same spot. As he handed Naruto, just in case. Naruto placed it in his jacket pocket. Good. Now how about we get some ramen to celebrate, he said, as the both of them got to their feet. Time skip. 1 week later, an exhausted Team 7 trekked through the mountain regions of the Land of Lightning. The sight of the main gates of Kumo came into view finally. The gates were similar to Konoha, if not bigger. They could see the different houses, as they were embedded, made directly into the mountains. 2 Chunin stepped forward to greet them. What is your business in Kumo? Answer quickly, one of them demanded. Rin pulled out the form from her pocket. Ah, Team 7 from Konoha. The Raikage is informed that you come speak with him in his office, the guard said. Thank you, said Rin as he handed the form back to her. Once they were out of earshot, Rin-sensei, why are we going to see the Raikage? Asked Yujiro. Just grown-up stuff, sweetie, said Rin, as she giggled a bit to herself. As they walked through the streets, many people started to recognize Naruto and Itachi. "Isn't that the Uchiha?" commented the man as they walked on. "Yeah, and that's the Yellow Flash boy. Man, the resemblance is uncanny." Naruto and Itachi started to look around uncomfortable. "Don't worry, remember, you can't be touched outside the exam," said Rin. When they arrived, they were greeted by the secretary Mabe. "It's a lot bigger than Hokage Tower, isn't it?" said Naruto. As Mabe bowed to the three of them. "Welcome to Kumo, the Raikage is expecting you for in his office. Follow me, please," she said, as she knocked on the door respectfully. They heard a gruff voice say, "Come in." Team 7 lay eyes on the man as he sat behind his desk, signing forms. He was a tall, dark-skinned man, with a rather muscular build. He was wearing a goatee. He had golden bracers on his arm. Both of them. He was wearing his Kage hat, and his cloak without a shirt beneath, showing off his muscular physique, as he gestured for them to step forward. He then turned his gaze. "You, boy." "Me?" said Naruto. "Yes, what's your name?" "My name is Naruto, sir," said Naruto. "Naruto Namikaze, am I correct to assume?" As Naruto nodded. "You look just like your father," he said, crossing his arms. As Naruto narrowed his gaze towards A, and just looked at him. "It takes an exceptional ninja to survive the Chunin exams in Kumo. Are you up to the task?" "Yes, I think I am, Raikage-sama," said Naruto, still showing a bit of apprehension. "Where's your tenacity and resolve, boy?" "You think?" "Huh, weak," the Raikage said. "The three of you are staying at the Golden Cloud Hotel." He threw a paper as Itachi caught it. "That is the address," he said. "You can go," he said. Yujiro realized that Naruto was not coming with them. "Naruto," she said, as Naruto clenched his fist and looked directly in the man's eyes. This man was the definition of power in the ninja world. The only person that was able to fight his father and come close to matching him. So for A to say him weak, it damaged Naruto's pride right there and then. As Naruto turned his back and started to walk out, Rin looked towards him as she sighed, giving him a look. "Just a little motivation," said A. "I've wanted to meet the Namikaze son for the longest time," said A, with a grin. "You sure have a funny way of showing it," she said, the mumble. "I couldn't help myself. Now we have much to discuss. Please sit, Rin." The next day, Team 7 stood outside the hotel, as Rin made sure they had all their gear. Once done, she led the three 10-year-old kids towards the north side of the village. As they made their way, many teams were also making their appearance. One was a group of Jenny from our country, if the headbands indicate anything about them. There was a hulking boy with a pink scarf and green top. He was wearing brown pants and green sandals, as he had a happy-go look on his face. Next to him was a boy with blonde hair that was tied in a high ponytail that covered his right eye. He wore a jacket that was zipped up over white undershirt, black pants, and shinobi sandals. Next to him was a girl with short black hair and pink eyes. She was wearing a green top and black shorts, along with fishnet underneath. At first look, they seemed to be 12 years old, each of them. The blonde-haired boy caught gaze with Naruto, as he looked Naruto over. "So this is what Dad was talking about," said Naruto, as he turned his gaze away. They kept their guard up just in case as they arrived at the Kumo Academy building. A team from the sound was sitting on a nearby tree along with their sensei. There was a boy with an imprint of a lightning bolt running across his forehead. His sewn headband was attached to his waist. Another tall boy with orange hair, as he was wearing a black shirt and black pants with shinobi sandals. The girl next to him reminded him a lot of Karen. Bandage wrapped her on her thigh as she was wearing a mini skirt and a zip-up purple top. Her long red hair stopped right at her shoulder as it came down her face, stopping at her nose. It parted so both of her eyes could see. Rin turned towards all of them at the entrance. "You're all prepared, right?" Yujiro giggled. "I think at this point that's a bit mute, Sensei," she said. Rin flicked her on the nose. "You three have done so much that have made me so proud," she said. "I know the three of you are destined for great things. Trust in your training and do me proud," she said. "Thank you for training us, Rin Sensei," Itachi said. "Thanks for putting up with us," said Yujiro as she grabbed both Naruto and Itachi and pulled the both of them down to her height. "We won't let you down," said Naruto. "My little Jennings, about to become Chunin," she said, as she kissed all of them on their forehead in a motherly fashion. Though she had been their sensei for about 3 years, she loved every moment, milestone, arguments, everything. It was like raising children to let them go out in the big wide world. However, the fact was still there. They were still children. But she was rather grateful for the time that she got to spend with each and every one of them. All three of you promised me you'll do your very best, she said. Yes, Rin Sensei, all three of them said. With nothing else to say, she stood to the side as she let them walk past. As she smiled as he went inside. Once she was finished looking, she flashed away to where the other Jonins would be so she could watch his students. Meanwhile, you three are gonna do Kumo proud. Say it loud and say it proud, a voice rap. Team 7 came to a stop the moment they entered, as they were greeted to a rapping voice. Three Genins followed by their sensei stepped from around the corner. There was two Kunoichis and one Shinobi. It was clear that they was young as well, and that they were probably considered prodigies, well not like Team 7. The first girl that stepped out. She was a young Kunoichi. She had blonde hair that was tied in braids, and it was wrapped around a cloth that touched the lower part of her back. She had blue, slitted eyes. She was wearing fingerless gloves. She was wearing a blue and black top, and black pants, and a kunai holster on her left leg. The next was a boy. He had the same hair color, as it was cut rather low. He wore the typical Kumo uniform except for the flap jacket that Jonins wore. He had the kanji for heat embedded on the top of his blade. The last one to step out, her hair was a bit brighter blonde, as she had wonderful blue eyes, mesh shirt, with a blue jacket over it that was zipped up. She was wearing black shorts with bandages wrapped around her legs and forearms, with shinobi sandals. The boy made contact with Naruto. "You!" he shouted. Naruto paused. "Naruto Namikaze, the swift blade of Konoha." "So, hotshot, care to battle me in a hot-blooded clash of blades?" he yelled. Naruto remembered his father's words. Always remain calm. As the boy drew his blade and pointed towards Naruto. Naruto's gaze narrowed. "Do not draw your blade unless you're prepared to use it. I can assure you, Namikaze-san, my friend meant no harm. He's just spirited." The blonde with the long hair said. "I must admit though, I was rather shocked to find out someone from our generation was a part of the bingo book so early." She said with a small smile. "Yes, well, it was unexpected," said Naruto, as Naruto put his finger on the tip of the boy's blade and flipped it upward, making the boy stumble. "Do you know that it's a crime for another swordsman to handle another blade without permission? Such call for a hot-blooded battle," he said. Yujiro rolled her eyes. "The smallest dog always barked the loudest," she said. "Who are you calling dog, Konoha brat?" he yelled. "Save it for the exams," the girl over to the side said as Naruto turned towards her. "I agree," the other girl said, as he turned to leave. "What's your name?" said Naruto. "Names," the boy said, drawing his blade. "Well, you all know mine," said Naruto. "Oh, how rude of us," the blonde in long hair said. "My name is Vegito. I am Atsue Namikano, the hot-blooded swordsman of Kumo," the boy said. "I am Samui Namikano," the girl said. "I am Yujiro Uzuki," said Yujiro. "Itachi Uchiha," Itachi said. "Well, I guess we'll see in the exams, huh, hotshot," Atsue said. Naruto said nothing as he watched the team walked off. When they were gone, Yujiro spoke. "You think they're a threat?" "That girl. She's very strong," said Naruto. "They both are," Itachi said. "We should get going," said Yujiro. "Yeah," as they move off with the Kumo team. "Well, that was a hot-blooded confrontation if I ever had one," Atsue said. "Yes. It'll be interesting to see how far they progress," said Yujiro. Samui remained stoic, but there was a tiny smile that appeared on her face. Meanwhile, Team 7 as they walk, a Chunin proctor appeared in front of them. "Ah, another team. You'll find what you're looking for at room 17C, on the top floor. But be careful what you look for there. There's a genjutsu that stopped the teams that are not ready for it." He then disappeared as he came. The group looked at each other. "It's a ninja job to know deception," Itachi said, as they made their way down the hall. As they reached room 17C, "Well, what do you think?" Yujiro said. "Think about it. Was that man lying? Can we really trust anyone except for our own teammates?" Itachi asked. "But what if he was telling the truth, expecting us to think that he was lying, so we would think that it was all a lie?" "Underneath the underneath," said Yujiro. "My guess he was telling the truth. There was no faint movements or twitches to show that he was lying." Itachi activated Sharingan. Over the door there was a wavy genjutsu, but behind it was 17C. "A genjutsu," he said. "It's rather simplistic though." His eyes returned back to normal. "Come on," she said, "let's kick some ninja ass." As she opened the door, the sheer amount of genins inside was a sight to behold. There was so much of them. Most of them in there was older than them, as everyone turned towards them with a gaze. Tuh, more brats. One of the Genins from the Stone team said. They won't last 5 minutes, another from the Stone said. Team 7 plopped themselves down on some chair in the front, as attention quickly left them, as everyone started to go back to their business. As Naruto turned towards the Sound team, that orange chair boy, the large one, there was something. As Itachi Sharingan activated, there is something dark. Naruto finished. You can see it, right? Said Yujiro. I don't need Eagle Vision or Kekkei Genkai to see that. The boy looked docile and calm, but something was up. Naruto kept on scanning the room until his eyes fell on the Kumo team. His eyes locked with Samoe's. She stared at him with a cold gaze. He smiled at her, as he looked at her friendly, but she turned away. She's pretty, thought Naruto. A burst of light forced everyone to cover their eyes. When it was clear, a Kumo shinobi stood there. A display of that power showed that he was a Jonin already. He looked young, blonde hair and dark eyes. He was around 21 to 24. Everyone take your seats. No more than one shinobi from a village to a row. That's not fair, a grass ninja shouted out. Fail, he said. Her and her teammates collapsed. As some Chunins came in the room and collect her in her knocked out form. My name is C, Jonin of Kumo. I am the proctor for this first part of the exam. You will do as I order or you will fail. There's no mid ground, no negotiation. My way or fail. No one questioned him as they moved towards different seats. As Naruto found himself at the back next to Atsui and a Genin from Kiri. Since Kiri was in a civil war, Naruto doubted that he would see a shinobi from the mist. But here one of them were. He had puffy blue hair and dark eyes. He was wearing glasses that were connected to ear protectors, and he had sharp teeth. As Naruto noticed a blade on his back, it was wrapped in bandages, leaving the double hilt visible. It was one of the legendary blades, Kurama. I'm sorry, the boy said, turning him back. Can I help you, Shinobi-san? Oh no, I was just admiring your sword. It's not every day you see a legendary sword, you know, said Naruto. Oh, no problem, but I could say the same thing, he said, as he pointed towards the blade on Naruto's back. The Orochimaru is a sight to behold, he said, with a toothy smile. Thanks, I'm Naruto by the way. I'm Kojo, the boy said. Once the introduction was over, Naruto turned. Yujiro was at the side, as Itachi was at the front corner. They were all isolated. Chonins came in and started to spread out the papers. The exam will be a written estimate. The Jonin said, answer the question in a 1 hour time limit. If you are caught cheating, your team fails. If you leave the room, your team fail. If you talk, your team fail. The paper was placed in front of Naruto. Once it was all done, you may begin now, the boy said. At first glance, the questions seemed rather easy. Most high-level academy students could answer the questions. As Naruto remembered the Chunin, why would he just come out of nowhere and tell them that this is the room? Could the test be something of a trick as well? As Naruto turned towards Kojo, a kunai whipped past his face and stabbed right behind him. As Naruto did not move. Team 4 from this sound eliminated. As Naruto realized the boy was trying to cheat off him, there was something strange about the test, as 5 teams got eliminated at once. Kojo took off his glasses and the reflection of the Chunin in front of him. He could see all the answers. Several other ninjas that were disguised in transformations were also there. Deception is the name of the game, Naruto thought. He glanced to see Itachi, his Sharingan activated. Yujiro, who had manipulated some water in her hand, she cooled it down to the point where it almost turned into clear ice, as she used to reflect the answers of the person behind her. We have to cheat, not only that. We have to cheat off the right person, Naruto thought. The papers were different. If that's the case then, release, said Naruto. As all the words, everything seemed to just scramble around. Even his name changed, showing the real test. As Naruto realized why they had them sit down, and they placed the others there, because they had the papers that they needed. He pulled his sword off his back and placed it down. Using the steel of the blade, he reflected towards the Chunin in front of him as he saw the answers, as he started to jot them down. As the hours swept by rather quickly. Pencils down, said C. I'm sure that you all answer every question to the best of your ability, he said. As the Genins nodded, are you confident? Are you sure that the information you gather and written down is correct? Are you sure that it's accurate? He then went through hand sign. Those that had not dispelled the genjutsu over their paper. Suddenly the paper boomed in a small poof of smoke. and knocked them clean out. Almost half of them were knocked out. The only team from Kira was still there. The Kumo team, the Sound team with the orange hair boy, and the Stone team as well, including his team. The bodies were being removed from the room. For all those who are still conscious, you all pass, he said with a smile. Know that all of you have proven yourself worthy of continuing. You must use the skills that you have gathered in this test to move on to the second, he said. Yo, Jennings, I know that you're all ready for the amazing Killer Bee to school, yeah. I figure as he burst the window and landed beside C. I'm Killer B, Lord 8-Tail coming at you hot, proctor of the second exam. I thought that we would start with a bang, yeah? As he struck a pose, his fist up in the air, 2 fingers raised, like a horn. As Naruto watched as the Chunin started to leave the room. Something seemed up. It was then that C went through hand sign. Lightning illusion. False pillar, he said as the room went white. Time skip. Oh crap, my head. Where the hell does that Jonin get off doing that to me? As bright light shining down on Naruto, he had to squint, shielding his eyes from the powerful light rays. As he blinked several times. He had no idea where he was, but the ground beneath him was solid. And jagged as well. It was also a bit hot, which was odd considering that Kumo climate was. Just like Konoha. A mile in between. He picked himself up. Behind him was a massive cave. In front of him was a small row of rocks. A powerful gust of wind hit his face, and the horizon looked awfully far away. He got a strange sense of vertigo as the wind blew his hair around. What the hell, as he crawled over towards the edge of the rocks. Are you serious? He yelled. Down below him was a massive ravine. How far up were they? He then heard snoring as he turned to see. Eugeo sprawled out on Itachi's chest. As the both of their breathing was synchronized. I hate to break up this adorable moment, but you all need to get your asses up. We have some serious problem, he yelled. Naruto, shut up. 5 more minutes, said Eugeo. She realized their comfort pillow was moving up and down. She blinked as she realized what she was lying on. Oh, Itachi, it's you. I'm sorry, she said, as she pulled herself back rather quickly. Itachi turned as he opened his eyes. The first thing he saw was Naruto's face. Get up! Now! Problem! Might die! Itachi groaned. So the usual then, he said. As Naruto pulled back alone to sit up. Where are we? Said Eugeo. My guess is a mountain range, said Naruto as he glanced around. That proctor. He knocked us out with his genjutsu, said Itachi. They checked themselves. As Naruto realized where the hell was his blade. Oh, it was in his hand. He calmed himself down. It seems they left us a note, Itachi said as he glanced towards the rock face behind him. A scroll was hanging on the wall. As Itachi scanned it first, but he saw no trap, so he took it off the wall and unraveled it. As expected, your team passed the first round in Chunin exams. But the fun is just beginning. You have 5 days to reach the summit of the mountain. You will be plagued by murderous mountain lions, hidden traps, and other enemy ninjas. This test has a notorious high death rate. The first part of the exam was designed to weed out the weak and simple-minded. From this you can deduce that all the teams that remain are high caliber. At the end of this test, the number of ninjas left will be 12. That's right, not 4 teams, but 12 ninjas, meaning you can pass through without your team to complete the mission, and no one will fault you for that. So that means no one can be trusted. Begin! Well, once again they threw us a curveball, huh? Said Naruto. Eugeo glanced up. So we have to reach the peak of that mountain, huh? I can't even see the summit beyond the clouds. The ground will only become hotter the more we progress. During the day, the sun rays constantly peered down and hit the mountain by the looks of things, Itachi said. It's at an odd angle. So that means the closer we get, the more hotter it gets, said Naruto. It's going to be hotter, said Eugeo. Naruto sighed. Well, we have 5 days. Is anyone sure on the direction that we should go? We must also find clean water and food, Itachi said. Got it covered, said Naruto as he held his tool, storage scrolls up. Mom made me alter the temperature inside the scrolls, so I could carry pre-prepared meals and water. She's funny like that, said Naruto with a chuckle. I doubt there's nothing there for 5 days though, said Eugeo. Who said that we need to be out here for 5 days, Itachi said. Are we gonna stay together or abandon each other, she said. She blurted out, looking quite embarrassed. They looked at her. Before they looked at each other as they started to laugh. Come on, Eugeo. Team 7, said Naruto as he held out his pinky finger. She blushed. I know it was a stupid question, alright? But I just had to ask. as they joined fingers together with Itachi. I have an idea, said Naruto as he took the red cloth off his sword. He ripped pieces off it and gave the fabric to his friends. Itachi tied this on his right arm, Yujiro around her neck, as Naruto tied this on his left arm. If we get separated from each other, we'll be able to sense each other because this cloth is infused from all of our chakra, after all the spars that we had together. So now, no enemy ninjas will be able to impersonate us unless they copy our makeup entirely. Also, as he unsealed a 3-pronged kunai from his wrist, add some of your blood on the hilt, he said. The both of them did so. Now, if one of us channeled their chakra into it, all members will converge on the spot. You've thought of everything, said Yujiro. I'm just lucky, said Naruto. Now what way, said Naruto. Yujiro went through hand sign before she clasped her hand on the right sign. She closed her eyes. Over the past 3 years, her sensory ability has grown incredibly, and not to mention tell the difference between chakra signatures. There are a lot of them, around 50 or so, all climbing the mountain. The simple answer to your question is up, she said. But we have to be careful. There's some strange slippery layer over the mountain. So you have to be careful of the chakra that you apply to your feet. Not to mention the traps. Some really nasty ones all over the place. Those are some pretty grim odds. So you better lead the way just in case, said Naruto. You know. No problem, dork, she said as she smiled. I told you stop calling me that, Naruto yelled. He sighed as he glanced up. I really wish I had a summoning contract. We would be up that mountain so quickly. With the right animal help. Yujiro glanced back at Naruto. I always assumed that you would sign the summoning contract of the toads. I mean, your father is a toad summoner and so is your grandpa. Wouldn't you want to sign it? I don't suit toads, to be honest. I don't like them. They're all slimy. Aren't frogs slimy? Itachi asked. Naruto shrugged. We have more important things to worry about right now, said Yujiro. As they entered the cave, as they saw the light coming from above, traps over the walls, and the gooey substance as well. Alright, said Yujiro, let's go, as she leaped. She faltered for a quick second, but she regained her footing. Jump to the other side, she said, as they did so. She threw her kunai towards the trap. It exploded. Screams echoed through the cave as a team from the hidden sound fall to their deaths. They all watched them fall with bated expressions. Itachi sighed as Naruto and Yujiro breathed out. I suppose this is death or promotion, she joked, trying to liven the mood, as they could see that she visibly had a problem with what she just did. Both boys chuckled sarcastically, so to make her feel comfortable, as she puffed her cheeks out and pouted, and with that they moved up the wall. Time skip nightfall. After hours of running up and breaking every now and then, they sat down on a small flat rock. Hell, said Yujiro. Not only is it hot during the day, but so cold during the night, she said, as she wrapped her arms around herself. Too bad you don't know fire jutsu, said Naruto with a frown, as him and Itachi used it to regulate their body temperature. They made a small supper what they could spare for the first night, before they decided to curl up in a nice cozy spot. Yujiro, you're gonna freeze. Seeing that we cannot make a fire, perhaps it's best if we share our body temperature. I see no other way than to reserve chakra and not giving away our location, Itachi said, a bit flustered. Pervert, she said a bit angrily. Yujiro, Itachi's offering to help you, so that you don't freeze. Besides, do you want to freeze, Naruto asked. Fine, but no getting any ideas, she said, as she walked over towards him and sat down in front of him. Well, she said flustered. Itachi cautiously wrapped his arms around her small frame. Their second time today, said Naruto, completely unaware of the awkward position that they were in. Itachi jutsu regulated her body to normal temperatures. As she smiled, why couldn't we travel at night? I thought about that, Itachi said. It's a good idea, but there will be traps that Naruto and I cannot see, as well as the unfamiliar terrain, as Naruto's special sight relies on movement. We have to travel slowly, and make little to no progress, he deduced. Naruto nodded. Can't we just use the moonlight that beamed through the entrances, she asked. Well, what about the parts of the mountains that is soaked in complete darkness right now, as he pointed upwards. Yujiro pouted that she was outsmarted by the Uchiha genus. She huffed once more. She leaned back. Yujiro, he said. I don't care anymore, she said, as she closed her eyes. As Naruto chuckled at Itachi's flustered face. Should have kept her mouth shut, he said. I wonder what Rin Sensei is doing, back on ground level, thought Itachi. As Naruto looked at Yujiro. Yujiro could keep up with Itachi, and she even bet them in some shinobi fields. But she was clanless. Her parents were traveling merchants who took up residence in Konoha before she was born. So why was she so gifted? Like him and Itachi, who come from prestigious clans. Hey, Yujiro, said Naruto. She opened one eye. Why are you so smart, said Naruto. She raised an eyebrow at that. I don't mean to in an insulting way, but it's just you don't come from a clan, and your parents aren't shinobis. It's just seems a bit strange that you're considered a genius like us. Itachi looked down towards her, as he wondered the same thing. Why do you ask? It's not really a difficult question to answer. Well, like you said earlier, my parents aren't shinobis. My brother is about as normal as they get. I'm like a fish out of water when I'm home, she said. You know, my grandpa told me that there was a battle that came close to Konoha in the Third Great Shinobi War. A caravan of merchants were attacked by stone ninjas, and they sent him and Bachan to go and rescue them. The only survivors were a man and a pregnant woman. That wouldn't happen to be your family, would it? Said Naruto. You're too smart for your own good sometime, Namikaze, she shouted. Itachi covered her mouth with his hand. Yujiro, we're in an exam, with her life hanging in the balance. Try and remain calm. She didn't answer. Yujiro, he said. He removed his hand as she spoke. My family was killed. The Hailstone losses were beginning to pile up. They were losing badly against Konoha. So in a last-ditch effort to hurt Konoha, a small faction of their shinobis infiltrated the line of fire and got as close to Konoha as they could, without being detected. They followed my family, some defenseless merchants, who didn't have any business with fighting, and they butchered almost all of them. If it wasn't for Jiraiya-sama and Tsunade-sama, I wouldn't be alive. They saved my pregnant mother and my father, and they brought them back to Konoha. Itachi felt a bit perplexed. He was only 10. He didn't have that much contact with the female species. He had his baby sister Ayano, and his mother, but Yujiro was different. As she started to cry, he did the only thing that he thought was good at the time as he hugged her, wrapping his arms around her tightly. As Naruto watched in silence. It's alright, Itachi said. His tone sounded a bit awkward. As Naruto spoke. So you're strong because you're afraid of losing your family. She nodded in Itachi's chest. I can see how that would become painful. Nobody could understand that pain, and that pain would drive you to become stronger, while acknowledgement made Itachi and I stronger. Yours is a much more stronger burden, he said. You're a member of Team 7. One for problems is all for problems. You will never be alone, he said. You don't have to carry this burden all by yourself, Naruto said. I agree, Itachi said. We'll always be there no matter what. She looked up towards him. You sweet idiot, she said, as she pulled Naruto over and hugged the both of them. That's great, said Naruto. But we can't make it to the summit as a team if you choke us to death, said Naruto. The next morning they woke. As they move in the hot sun, Naruto unsealed canteens, tossed in towards his teammates, who were grateful to his mother for thinking 10 steps ahead. They walked up for a few more hours until she held her hand up. Yujiro, she placed a finger on his lip, stopping Naruto from saying anything. As she pointed, 3 Genins resting on a rock formation up above them. Itachi activated Sharingan. Yujiro closed her eyes, assessing their power level. A team from Grass Country. 2 boys, 1 girl. They all have mid to low level chakra reserves, Genin. The one on the left is a clone, Itachi said. My guess is that he abandoned his teammates. While his clones stay here with them, he made a break for the summit. What's your course of action, Itachi said. After a few moments of thinking it over, Naruto narrowed his eyes. We're gonna kill them. Kill? Said Yujiro. Yes, the name of this game is survival. I doubt that any of us can put them into a genjutsu for 4 days, despite Itachi's knack for it. If we kill them now, it will increase our chance of survival. I have to agree, Itachi said. But, said Yujiro, if it makes you feeling better, Itachi and I will kill the girl and boy. You can deal with the clone. She snapped her gaze towards him. I didn't say that you weren't right, she said. I know I'm being a baby, but they have families and don't. Itachi said, cutting her off. You will only make this a lot harder. Naruto created a clone as it went above them, slowly, as Itachi went through hand signs. Itachi fired out a fireball jutsu. They were forced to jump away as Naruto exploded the clone, forced them to jump back down. Now, said Naruto. Water style, fire style, lightning release. The clone of the boy poofed away, shocking the other two, as the collaboration jutsu shot towards them. They leaped out of the way. That bastard! He abandoned us, the girl yelled. He was always shady. I never liked him, the boy said, malice in his tone. They are in disarray, and they have not pinpointed our location, not to mention they're outnumbered, Itachi said. A Sharingan focused on the two. The female ninja threw a kunai with an explosive note on it, trying to lure out the attackers, as Yujiro flashed her hand sign, water style. She created a wall of water blocking the debris that came down from her and her teammates. Move, she said. Both Naruto and Itachi flashed away. Naruto reappeared, as the boy saw him and launched a kunai. Naruto pulled out the Orochimaru and sliced the kunai in half. Both sides fell into the side. Itachi flashed Shuhansan fire style. Fireball Jutsu! The pair of them jump off in different locations. Yujiro appeared behind Gerd and launched kunais into her backs. Poof! Substitution. Naruto behind you, Itachi said, as a kunai pressed against Naruto's back. You should be worrying about yourself. A kunai pressed against Itachi. Yes, you're right. I should be, he said with a chuckle. Why are you laughing? The girl said. Because I'm not the one in danger. To her shock, Itachi burst into crows. The next thing she knew, she was stabbed from behind as she fell down. The boy clenched his fists. It appeared your friend killed mine. But you know what they say, eye for an eye and all. You know what they say, those that show mercy to their enemies always end up dead in the end, said Naruto. What the hell are you talking about, the boy asked. If anyone hurt my friends, I will never show mercy to them. It was then that Naruto poofed away. The boy's eyes widened in shock. A clone, he thought to himself. He turned, slash! A clean cut across his chest. He gasped as he fell right off the mountain down to his death. Yujiro felt Naruto's chakra. When anything concerned his friends or anyone he cared about, his chakra became so dark, so cold, so merciless. But now it returned back to soft and warm. Naruto could not hurt a fly, and here he was killing enemy shinobis. He has truly come to terms with what their profession was. She had to do the same, otherwise, if she messed up, she wouldn't be able to forgive herself. Naruto sighed, despite that he didn't like it, as she could see it on his face. Let's keep going, she said. Right, the longer we remain stagnant, the more the enemy has to locate our position. So with that they move, making their way. Is it just me or is it getting so much more hotter, said Naruto. Before anyone could say anything, well done, Konoha ninjas. I seen your last battle. Don't worry, I won't tattle. They narrowed their gaze around their weapons drawn, as they heard that rapping. It was then that they turned to see the second proctor. This man. He put on the persona as a fool, but the power coming from him. The only time I've ever felt something like this is from Karen, and Naruto's little brother Ren. Thought Yujiro, she narrowed her eyes. He might act that way, but there was something. He was insanely powerful. Now, I'm not here to attack you. I'm here to reward you for setting the bar so high. He tossed a scroll towards Yujiro, who caught it. No, if y'all don't mind, he's as hot as hell. That certainly doesn't ring my bell. I gotta get out of here and catch some Z's. Killer Bee out. See ya, wee, he said as he jumped away. That man, said Naruto. Yes, I know. He isn't all that he appears to be, Itachi said. What does the scroll say, Yujiro-chan? Asked Naruto. It was locked. I guess you should open it, said Naruto. What if it's a trap? Asked Yujiro. She's right. It could be a trap. As Naruto pulled the three from kunai, don't worry. If it's a trap, we'll be able to get away using this. Alright. As she put her hand beneath it, it was then that a scream could be heard, as a body fell down past them, ripped apart. They glanced up as they saw slitted yellow eyes looking down towards them. Mountain lions. The massive lion looked down towards him before. It just wandered off. Those things are a lot bigger than I thought, said Naruto. He didn't notice Yujiro open the scroll. Hey, what if it was a trap? I already opened it, so there's nothing to worry about, you dork. Hey, I'm not a dork, said Naruto. As she looked it over. It's a route, she said. A route to avoid the mountain lions. Where's that, Itachi said as he glanced around. As she looked towards the location. This seemed like it was drawn by a 4-year-old or some kid. As she looked at the mountain, it was hard to pick out. I guess it's over there, she said. The next day, two tuning guards were standing above the mountain. There was a stairs behind them. As they stood there rather calmly when they saw three figures approach. Konoha Shinobis, one of them said. You're the second team to make it up here. Behind the Kumo team, of course, the other one said, sounding impressed. Lucky us, said Yujiro with a scowl. Do you three have the scroll that Master B should have given you? Itachi pulled the scroll out from his backpack. Well, everything seemed to be in order, the guard said, looking rather flustered at the drawing. Yujiro was kind of pissed off. Her hair was dirty, her clothing was dirty, and her clothing was ripped in several places. She also had some cuts on her arm and face, same for Naruto and Itachi. They were able to slip past the mountain lion den, with little to no trouble. Although they were fearsome, they soon learned that they were protective of the young, more than anything else. After one more night of traveling, almost run out of Kushina, delicious bentos, they were able to reach the summit. So what's next, Naruto asked. Oh, you three did it! Someone flashed behind in the sunshine. Rin-sensei, Yujiro said in shock. I'm so proud of you all, as she squeezed the life out of them in a hug. You all look like you had a fun time. I knew that all of you would stay together, she said. So considering that we're all alive, and we made it pretty early, does that mean we have a spot in the next round? As Rin flicked her over the forehead, of course you all have spots in the next round, she said. Yujiro pouted and held her red forehead. I told you to stop doing that, she said, blushing a bit in embarrassment. And I told you I would stop when you stopped doing rash and silly things, said Rin. But yes, congrats. You have all solidified your place in the finals and passed second form Chunin exams. They have 2 days as they made their way inside. 2 days to rest and recover, for the other part of the test to begin. But they were so exhausted as they went to fall asleep. Time skip. The fourth Raikage stood in front of 12 ninjas that passed his exam. A team from the Leaf, Sound, Cloud, Rock, and a single Miss Shinobi, as they were outside of the station with their Jonin senseis behind them. Next to A was a box in a stand, as he rested his giant hand on it. Congratulations are in order. You're the cream of the crop from your generation. The next group of young generation will wage war in the battlefield for your village. The path that you have all chosen is a long and painful one. The purpose of this test was to give you a taste, a lifelike simulation of what you will face as a ninja. Suddenly, in a burst of smoke, another Cloud ninja appeared. Yeah, hi Janine. He rubbed back of his head. It's the Rui. It's gonna be rather dull, but I'm the proctor for the final exam. He gave them rather a lazy grin. So the deal is you all have to come here and pick a number. That number will determine your place in the tournament. Oh, did I mention there was a tournament? Everyone's sweat dropped as they made their way up and pick a number. Once they were all finished, he told them to call their number. Atsui of Kumo, number 2. Samui of Kumo, number 5. Yujito of Kumo, number 12. Deidara of the Hidden Stone, number 3. Kurasaki of the Hidden Stone, number 6. Akisaki of the Hidden Stone, number 10. Kojiro of Kiri, number 11. Kimimaru of the Sound, number 4. Jugo of the Sound, number 8. Yujiro of Konoha, number 9. Itachi of Konoha, number 7. Naruto of Konoha, number 1. Alright then, he said, as he wrote them up. So this is how it's happening. Atsui versus Naruto will be the first match. The second match, Deidara versus Kimimaru. Third match, Samui versus Kurasaki. Fourth match, Itachi versus Jugo. Fifth, Yujiro versus Akisaki. And the sixth match, Kojiro versus Yujito. Yujito smiles, Kojiro blush. There, now you have your opponents. In 6 months' time you will battle for the pride of your nation in Kumo Arena. Train hard and make your nations proud. As A said that he disappeared in a lightning sunshine. Team 7 looked toward each other. They had a lot of training to do. 6 months a long time, but still not enough. But they will be ready. There was no doubt about that. But guys, be and subscribe right here. If you want something smart to do, like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification stay posted. Remember, share to all of your friends in social media platform. And also guys, go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto was created by the God Tree. And enjoy that, guys. And also over in the making too, I post a brand new episode of What If Naruto Return different with a yin yang bloodline. So go ahead and check that out and enjoy. But for now, I'm out. See you guys soon. Peace, guys.